The other thing we found is, and I'm sorry to go on, but this is really important to me. The other portion is a lot of people don't know how to register. Not everybody in the community, in the Hispanic and the African American community, particularly in rural areas that are distant and or inner city districts, know how to get online. Hispanic and the African American community, particularly in rural areas that are distant and or inner city districts, know how to get online to determine how to get in line for that COVID vaccination at the Walgreens or at the particular store. So I've committed to spend $1 billion on public education to help people figure out how they can get in there.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Culture Shock, the show just bringing you all the hypocrisy you can possibly take in 1 week, which is why I waited until Sunday night at the time of this recording to sort of kind of bring you these stories. But first, the opening skit for this, yes, that is a true thing. Joe Biden believes that if you're a minority of Black or Latino descent, that you are too stupid to use a computer. Now, here's the double standard. Now, if Trump had said that would have been headline news for the next 2 weeks. You wouldn't have heard the end of it. But the media loves Joe Biden so much, they just swept it under the rug. Now, in his defense, he was probably trying to say something else that others interpreted as racist. Now, do I think he was trying to be racist? Probably not. But the same thing can be said about Trump. Trump probably saying something completely different. There's 9 times out of 10 that I think that he said some stuff that came out wrong and the media just went wild with all these racist accusations. Same can be said about Joe Biden. The only difference is that the media isn't going to tell you or show you or even mention that what Joe Biden said could be interpreted as racist. But if Trump had done that, it would have been a completely different ballgame. And that is why the media to me is this complete and utter shit show. If you are listening to the mainstream media after the last 4 years, hey man, you get what you deserve. You get what you deserve. So, but this episode isn't about Joe Biden. I just had to comment on that because a lot of people were asking me what I thought about it. That's what I think. Is what he said racist? It could be interpreted as such. I just think that the media should just have a standard. If they're going to say, if Trump had said that same line, it would have been, oh, Trump said minorities can't use computers. That's racist. Well, Joe Biden kind of said the same thing. So I don't know what your standards are, mainstream media, but I don't listen to you. I never did, never will ever again. And so let's get into this. Now, if you follow me on social media, Twitter, Instagram, I've been saying for the last couple weeks that if you can manage it, get your kids out of the public school system and get them into a charter school, private school, home school, whatever, because the school system in this country sucks. And it sucks because of the teachers union. So let's get right on into it. Yes, the teachers unions are running the school systems. If anybody is still advocating for lockdowns, for schools to be closed, for virtual learning to still happen when there's a vaccine, or COVID infections are down for the first time since this whole thing has started, and people are going back to work and things are opening back up, you're an idiot. You're a moron. And that's exactly what the teachers unions are doing. In fact, they are advocating for more money for the school system. Why would you want more money if the schools aren't open? You're not having to buy special equipment to virtual learning. I mean, everyone in 2021 owns a computer or some type of virtual device that you can access to talk to people. FaceTime is pretty much an open thing. Zoom is free. I'm actually using Zoom right now to record this video. So I really don't understand why the teachers unions have to do this, but they control the school system. They have their greedy hands everywhere. They give money to politicians who then, if elected, give the money back to the teachers union, and this whole corruption cycle keeps on going. And if you're a teacher who's part of this teachers union, and you don't know what this is, and you don't know what's going on, you should probably look to your administrator. So I've gotten a few stories about the public school system that is both overly hilarious and something that I'm not too fond over. And we're going to get into that in a second. But before we do that, I got to do my first spiel, I guess. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I'm Will at Heroic Studios. Welcome to my channel. Like, subscribe. And guys, big announcement. My website, Heroic Studios Media, is now up and running. Instead of having to create an account on Webtoons to read Ultima the Legend Untold, you can go ahead to heroicstudiosmedia.com and read for free. There's no need to create an account, no need to log in, no need to have any special type of add-ons or anything like that. Go ahead, click, read. Comments are open. You guys can do whatever you want with that. Also, I will be moving all of my videos and podcasts and 3D printing adventures over to that website too. They will still be on YouTube. Ultima the Legend Untold will still be on Webtoons. This is just a, I guess, fail-safe, just in case something happens to my Webtoons page or if I get kicked off YouTube. So that way I can still be around. You guys can still get all of my content. All right. Now, with that out of the way, let's get into today's top stories. All right, so going back into this whole just mess of everything. Now, this is my problem with the public school system in America. It's like, it's no longer for reading, writing, and arithmetic. Now they're trying to indoctrinate children into the leftist ideology because they believe something, therefore it is true because they're the teachers. Listen to this article. Adding wokeness. Oregon promotes teachers program to subtract racism in mathematics. What? That doesn't make any sense. If anybody had any ounce of history, you would know that mathematics was invented by the ancient Sumerians, which is now known today as Iraq. It was primarily practiced among Arabs in the Middle East. There's no whiteness there. So here we go, going into something that doesn't make any sense. And these are actually grown tax-paying adults who believe this, and they're teaching your children. Like I said, folks, if you can, get your kids out of fucking public school and put them in private school or homeschool them, something, because this shit is absolutely bonkers. I don't know how it even got through. I mean, I know the teachers' unions are screwed, but I mean, like, no one in the teachers' union said, this is probably not a good idea, because none of it makes sense. So let's get into this article, because I'm pretty sure it's just stupid on its face. The Oregon Department of Education recently encouraged teachers to register for training that encourages fucking making up words. Why do people have to make up words? Ethnomathematics, and argues, among other things, that white supremacy manifests itself in the focus of finding the right answer. Someone had to write this. That's what's blowing my mind. Someone wrote this and thought it was a good idea. An ODE newsletter sent last week advises a February 21 pathway to math equity micro courses, which is designed for middle school teachers to make use of a toolkit dismantling racism in mathematics. The event website identifies the event as partnership between California's San Mateo County Office of Education. Of course, California is somewhere involved in this. California has the shittiest public education system I have ever seen before in my life. The Education Trust West and others. Part of the toolkit includes a list of ways white supremacy culture allegedly infiltrates math classrooms. Those include the focus on getting the right answers, students being required to show their work, and other alleged manifestations. What are these manifestations? What, are you summoning a demon? Manifestations of what? You can't manifest white supremacy in math. See, this is why it struck a chord with me, because I don't normally talk about my personal life or my day-to-day, but doing my day job, I'm an actual engineer. I design, I build shit for a living, okay? Math is a prime component in making sure the shit works right and it does not blow up. I am terrified of these kids who are being taught that you don't have to put a focus on getting the right answer and showing your work if these kids decide they want to be engineers. If they decide they wanted to build airplanes, bridges, buildings, homes, electrical grids, all of that takes math, all of that takes focusing on getting the right answer, and all of that requires getting to show your work. I don't understand why everything has to be riddled with white supremacy, why everything has to be riddled with racism. That makes no sense. Imagine living in a world where everywhere you look, something is racist to you. This is where we're at. And this is where we're at. This shit right here makes no sense. Let's continue with the article. The concept of mathematics being purely objective and unequivocally false, and teaching it is even much less so. I got to read that again because there's so much mental gymnastics there that I don't even know how to even interpret that. Give me a second. The concept of mathematics being purely objective is unequivocally false, and teaching it is even worse, less so. I'm sorry, I think I'm getting to feel that math should be based on feelings and all of it should be subjective. So if you feel 2 + 2 = 6, well, I guess 2 + 2 = 6. No, that's not how this works. You can tell I'm getting really worked up over this article because it's the stupidest piece of shit I've ever read before in my life. I'm sorry. Holy crap. The document for the Equitable Math Toolkit reads, upholding the idea that there are always right and wrong answers perpetuate objectively as well as fear of open conflict. Yes, because if you are more a theoretical mathematician versus somebody who applies those mathematics, there are going to be some conflicts. See, this is why you discuss ideas. This is why you go ahead and discuss your ideas with someone else, so someone else can either tell you how good your ideas are, or someone else can challenge those ideas with something else, and maybe you come to the conclusion of maybe that's not a good idea. This math has always been a dominant thing to debate over, whether something is theoretical or something is actual. If something is actually being applied here, because you have theoretical mathematicians, you have I forgot the other one. You have people who theorize, where they come up with equations in theory, and then you have people who actually use those theories and put it into play. You know, and I forgot what you call it. Don't quote me. My head is on this, but yes, upholding the idea that there are always right and wrong answers. No, math, there's only one right answer. 2 + 2 = 4. 2 + 2 will always equal 4. There's nowhere where 2 + 2 = 1, 2 + 2 = 8, 2 + 2 = 5. 2 + 2 = 4. End of story. Okay? And white man didn't tell me that. Remember, math was created in the Middle East by the ancient Sumerians. Okay? The ODE led by Colt Gill, I can promise you this cat right here is a skinny pencil neck white liberal. I guarantee you. If I look his name up right now, which I'm not going to do because my computer is doing crapped out stuff, maybe I'll find a picture and put it in the edited version of this video. I guarantee you Colt Gill is a white, skinny pencil neck liberal. Confirmed to the letter to Fox News, ODE Communication Director Mark Siegel also defended the Equitable Math educational program, saying it helps educators learn key tools for engagement, development strategies to improve equitable outcomes for Blacks, Latinx. What the fuck is Latinx? Latinx men? What is that? Why is there an X after Latinx? I don't understand that. And multilingual students enjoying the communities of practice. See, they don't understand that when you do shit like this, you're harming mostly the minorities. You're harming Blacks and Latinos. If you want to make them succeed, you need to help them know how to get the right answers in math and educate them, not indoctrinate them, not saying everything you see is white supremacy, because that doesn't help anybody. It does not do a thing for people. Okay. Oh my God. All right. I'm done with this article. I'm gonna put the link in the description like always. You guys can go check it out for yourselves. I highly hope you guys do to go check it out. But we have more nonsense going on, because there's never a dull day in 2021. There's always something that's going down. And to me, it is like, we can't go a week without someone writing something stupid. And it's usually from the New York Post. It's usually from these cats who don't know what to do, who don't have anything to write about because Trump is out of office. So they're writing on this shit because it makes them feel morally superior. Remember, these people think you're stupid. They think you're dumb. They think you don't understand certain things. Listen, people, if anyone talks down to you, odds are that they're stupid. I get people on Twitter all day trying to talk to me about how morally superior they are to me and how intellectually superior they are to me. Look, I don't fucking care. I've always thought if you're the smartest person in the room, you're probably the dumbest person in the room. I've always been taught that. Keep your mouth shut. have your mind open to some learning, because it's always going to be somebody who knows a little bit more than you. Okay? Simple as that. Don't be an asshole. Most of these people are pseudo intellectuals where they'll say some wild, outlandish shit to kind of make them sound smart, to make you kind of think and go, maybe he's right. No, they're not. They're just trying to make you do the fucking mental gymnastics to make themselves look smarter than you when they're not really saying shit at all. That's what this is about. All right, let's get to this next article from the New York Post about, listen, the public school system, and I keep on saying this, if you guys can manage it, send your kid to a private school, homeschool them. Do something to where they are not part of this fucking cesspool of nonsense, because that is what this is. You have teachers who are sending packets home to white parents saying that you need to abandon your whiteness. Now, I don't know what that means exactly, but it seems like you're forcing parents of white children to be, I don't know, white guilty of something they didn't even do. But here we go. New York City Public School asks parents to reflect on their whiteness, and they give you the 8 white identities chart here that goes from red, if I remember correctly, says white supremacist to a white abolitionist. People just making up these fucking words because reasons. Doesn't really make sense. And if you're going along with it, you have no sympathy for me. If you're not fighting back against the public school system for this bullshit, for saying that there's white supremacy in math and all this other shit, I don't feel sorry for you. You people need to fight back, because it's no longer about the children anymore. It's no longer about the children. It is about the teachers and what their agenda is. It's always been that way for as long as I can remember, and now it's out in the open and no one is doing a thing. If your kid is part of the public school system, parents, you need to stand up. You need to fight back against these teachers unions and the entire public school system and get your kid fucking out of there, because this is unacceptable. A city public school principal is asking parents to reflect on their whiteness. I bet you that principal is white. Passing out literature that extols white traitors who dismantle institutions, education officials confirmed to the Post on Tuesday. The woke offensive at the Eastside Community School in Manhattan features a ranking list titled The 8 White Identities, which ranges from white supremacists to white abolitionists. So I guess if you're a white supremacist, you're a bad white man. And if you're a white abolitionist, you're sorry for being white, I guess. People, have some dignity for yourself. Come on. Stand up for yourself. Have some dignity. Understand that you're white. That's not the card. You got dealt cards. You can't change that. I mean, people don't like you for who you are, then go somewhere else. Start your own little club. That's what I would do. The curriculum written by Barner Hesse, again, I'm pretty sure this is fucking white liberal here. I guarantee you, an associate professor of African American studies at Northwestern University in Illinois claims there is a regime of whiteness and there are action-oriented white identities. People who identify with whiteness are one of these, has rights above the 8-point list. All right, let's look at these white identities. You have white supremacists, white voyeurism, white privilege, white benefit, white confessional, white critical, white traitor, white abolitionist. So it's okay to be a white traitor, but it's not okay to be a black traitor. I don't get it. I don't understand the logic here. The idea that critical race theory is in public school should be enough to scare you half to death. Get your kids out of those schools. It's not good for them. The 8 white identities written by Northwestern University Associate, blah, 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 whatever. The handout was accompanied by a color-coordinated meter with the red zone on the left titled White Supremacists and the green zone on the far right labeled White Abolitionists. A New York City Department of Education official told the Post that some parents at the school, which caters to 6th through 12th graders on the Lower East Side, first shared the material with staff. Good. Share that shit. And let people see what the fuck you're doing. Because like I said, if you're going along with this, no sympathy for me, buddy. You decided to do it. That's all you. The principal then disseminated it to every parent as part of a series of materials meant for reflection as food for thought, the official said. If this shit came home to my wife, if it came home to me and my wife, I would have marched down to that school right then and there and said, what the fuck is this? What is this? Why are you teaching this to my child? Why are you trying to teach it to me? And meanwhile, my kid is failing math because apparently math is racist. Dumb. Department of Education rep said in a statement, anti-racism, remember, anti-racism doesn't mean you're against racism. It means that you are, I don't even know, it's so many mental gymnastics. Anti-racism, you would think that it would mean that you're against racism, which I'm pretty sure all of us are in agreement here. Racism is bad. No one should be a racist, okay? You need to kind of get over that. But anti-racism is the idea that if you benefit from any type of institution in America, that means you're automatically racist. So if I bought a house, which I just did, according to critical race theory, that's racist. If I got a bachelor's degree in engineering and I went to school, apparently that's racist according to critical race theory. This is all tied in to Ibram X. Kendi nonsense, bullshit, something D'Angelo, that lady, Robin D'Angelo, white fragility, fucking anti-racism, critical race theory bullshit. This is all tied into that. And they're teaching it in schools, very subtly too. But now they're out in the open. And this is why the teachers' unions hate Trump, because of his 1776 initiative, which Biden has already written an executive order to veto out of schools, because critical race theory is ready to go. Again, if you send your kid to a private school and they sent this shit home, you have the power to say, hey, I'm not down with this. Either you get rid of it or I'm pulling my kid out. I'm pulling my kid out. It's going to hurt your pockets. Don't teach my kid this shit. My kid needs to learn how to read. They need to learn how to write. And they need to know how to do arithmetic. The 3 R's, what my grandmother said. The 3 R's, reading, writing, and arithmetic. And I swear to God, if someone in the comments said, well, that's only 2 R's. Arithmetic starts with an A. Go fuck yourself, okay? Anti-racism and the celebration of diversity is at its core of our work. This isn't a celebration of diversity if you're attacking white people. It is not. It is not. Stop saying that it's diversity. The absence of white people in anything is not diversity. It's called segregation, and it's called racism. Anti-racism and the celebration of diversity is at the core of our work on behalf of young people of New York City and the East Side Community Schools District. Parents and staff partner together to advance equity. There's that word again, equity. It's not about equality anymore. It's about equity. And what equity is that people, the government, school system, they're trying to control the equality of outcome. Now, if you don't know what I mean, this is what it means. Everybody has equality of opportunity. Everyone has the same opportunities here. You have the ability to go out and do whatever it is you want. You have your individual freedom and rights to do whatever it is you believe is right for your life. Now, flip side of that coin, based on how you execute those choices and decisions that you make, you might come out with a different outcome. So for example, I might start off from the ghettos of LA, which is what I did. Went to college, got an education. Somebody might did the same thing, but maybe didn't finish school. Because they didn't finish school, they don't have a good job, they're not making good money, not able to buy a house, yada, yada, yada. Maybe had a kid outside of marriage. Equality of outcome. They're trying to control equality of outcome, meaning that everybody arrives at the same spot. Now, I'm not too keen on that, mainly because it sort of sounds like communism, just a bit. But they're hiding it under the guise of critical race theory. That's what they're doing. And I'm not even going to go through this. Again, this will be in the links in the descriptions below. If you want to go read it, go read it. I don't think that any of this is right at all. This is extremely dangerous stuff, and they're teaching it to the kids because, and that's the thing, they used to teach it to the kids because the kids are more susceptible. But now that they have the white guilt thing going on, they're teaching it to the parents, and the parents are like, maybe I am a racist. You're not a racist, okay? You're not. If you haven't done one racist thing in your life, you're not a racist. And even if you have, sometimes you can't be racist without intent. Now they're saying that racism is racism, period. No, racism has intent. If you are intent on being a racist, you are a racist. If you're just angry or upset or just a complete dumbass and you say something racist, doesn't make you a racist. Makes you a dumbass, it doesn't make you a racist. This is where we're at, folks. And again, it's amazing that this has come so far, that we've made it this far in society to where something like this is okay. So now, the one way to determine if something is racist is very simple. Just replace the white with black and see if it's racist or not. Because that's usually my rule of thumb of determining if something is racist or not. All right. I got one more story for you guys, and I know this is going kind of long here. I apologize, but I hope you guys are kind of seeing the bigger picture here. Listen, I do these videos because I want to expose the hypocrisy of the left. I want to show how evil they are and what they're trying to do, because it's out in the open now and people are still on the verge of ignoring it. And it's really, it really like boggles my mind that so many people are just letting this happen. Now, there's a few people out there, actually, maybe more than a few, who are fighting back. And I commend you. And this is my way of fighting back. If you're watching this video for the first time, if you're the first time on my channel, go watch some of my other stuff, okay? Because this is just the beginning of what is going on. And it's absolutely scary that grown adults, taxpaying adults, are just like, yep, well, I'm just going to let this happen. And it's like, no, you have to prepare yourself for the future, not only for you, but for your children. If you're bringing a child into this world, if you're about to become the parent of a second child or a third child, this is the future that they have going on. This right here. And you guys need to understand that if we don't fight back, not as Americans, but as parents, because we want our kids to grow up in a society where they're free, where they aren't told that they're held back because they're a certain color, and that goes for both black and white kids, that it doesn't matter where you come from, doesn't matter how you look, you have the ability to be a good person regardless of all this other shit. You don't have to be indoctrinated with this bullshit. You don't. So don't let these people win. Fight back. Public school, private school, wherever you have your kid going to school, fight back, because these people are not going to stop. They're not going to stop. Here's the last article. Fox News: entire California school board resigns after caught mocking parents over reopening schools. Like I said in the beginning of this video, if you're still in favor of schools being shut down, you need to be slapped in the face. And this is music to my ears, because yes, these people need to resign. The president and 3 other members of the Northern California School Board resigned Friday after reports that they made mocking comments about parents during a public video meeting about reopening schools. This is hilarious, because despite cameras being fucking everywhere, now that you're teaching with a camera, you know, these things are recorded. They can leak. People can get access to this shit and put it out there. These people think they can get away with this. The resignation of President Lisa Brenzendine of Oakley Union Elementary School District was confirmed to Fox News by School Superintendent Greg Hetrick. The other members, Kim Bede, Erica Epolito, and Richie Masadas, who constitute the rest of the board, resigned later Friday, Fox 2 of the Bay Area reported. Good, because if these people are still trying to hop around and say that schools need to be closed, they need to be slapped. Hetrick had issued an apology Thursday for what he describes as board members' truly inappropriate comments, which were made during a virtual meeting Wednesday. A group published a video of the meeting that showed board members complaining about parents wanting teachers to return to the classrooms. Fact check, true. That is a legitimate argument. You need to get your asses back to work. The comments made were not in alignment with our vision and are definitely not what any of us stand for as leaders. I know that we lost trust with the community. You've lost trust with the community a long time ago, lady, okay? I will not make excuses for what happened or why it happened, Hedrick told Fox News in a statement. He continued, I have been and continue to be committed to working together for the betterment of Oakley Union Elementary School District students, staff, and entire school community. Brenzendine issued an apology after announcing her resignation. I am raising a 10-year-old with special needs and having him home during this pandemic, while also holding down 2 jobs to support my family has been a huge stress, she said. I suffer with many of the same things that parents are going through, from the mental health issues to regression. My remark was callous and uncalled for, and for what I am truly sorry. The recorded meeting from Wednesday night was posted on social media and shows board members who appear to believe the meeting was private. Brenzendine appeared to mock parents who want their babysitters back. Listen, lady, I don't want you babysitting my kid. I want you to teach my kid how to read, write, and do math. That's it. That's it. That's where my tax dollars go. They forget there's real people on the other side of those letters that they're writing. They don't know what we know behind the scenes. And it's really unfortunate. They want to pick us on because they want to pick on us because they want their babysitters back. She said the board members piled on, appearing to dismiss parents' concerns. If you're going to call me out, I'm going to queue you up. One board member is heard saying, I just censored myself and I don't know why. The video drew a reaction earlier Friday from parent Ashley Staff, whose 6-year-old daughter attends a school in the district. She called the board's comments heartbreaking during an appearance on Fox and Friends. We met regularly with the board as parents, and we're constantly sending in letters and emails and telling them our grief and our strife over distance learning, Staff told Steve Ducey? I don't know. I know he's one of the 5, but whatever. Now, this is the thing. Kids aren't fucking virtual learning. Ain't no kid is doing that. No child is doing that when they can just pick up a switch and play Fortnite. They can turn off their camera, play Fortnite. It seems as of late that they mocked us, that we were just complaining that we have nothing better to do. Staff said parents now Staff said parents now wonder what teachers and board members say about them in private. Personally, I don't fucking care. You still have to teach my kid. So what are their true intentions? If they feel so freely that they can talk, on the mic, that may or may not be hot. What's truly being said behind closed doors, said Staff. The video circulated online after being posted by an account called Reopen California Schools, prompting an online petition for the board members to resign. The president of the Contra Costa County Board of Education will likely appoint interim board members until new ones are elected or appointed, Fox 2 reported. Now, this is an opportunity for the Northern California school system to kind of get involved in dismantling these teachers' unions and these, lazy-ass teachers. You guys have been on lockdown teaching from virtual. Listen, if you're scared of the virus, here's a plan. And I said this before in past videos. Kids need to go back to school. They all need to go back to school. If you're scared of getting the virus, you hire a young proctor who is able to manage the class while you can teach virtually on a big screen TV or Zoom into the classrooms. That seems like a pretty good deal to me. Proctor hands out pencils, papers, worksheets, writes on the board while the teacher lectures and does what needs to be done for the lessons of the day. It's problem solved. Parents across the U.S. are lobbying for their children to return to learning from teachers in classrooms because parents have to go to work. As some students face the possibility of completing an entire school year without entering a classroom in addition to the months they lost at the end of 2019-2020 school year. Meanwhile, the White House is facing scrutiny for shifting language around President Biden's 100-day push for students to return to classroom amidst coronavirus pandemic. We all know that the teachers union is in Biden's hands. They're just slowly stroking them, making sure that they don't open schools while at the same time trying to get extra money for shit that's not even open. Does that make sense to you? Doesn't make sense to me, but that is exactly what's happening. Folks, I've said it once, I've said it twice, I've said it 3 times, and I'm going to say it again. If you can manage it, get your kids out of public school, get them into private schools, a charter school, home school. These public schools care nothing for your child. It's all about the teachers' unions. It's all about what they want. They've never been interested in teaching your child the proper lessons. They're indoctrinating them. They're teaching them that white supremacy exists in math. They're telling white parents that you're too white, that you need to abolish your whiteness. And now they're making fun of parents who simply want the teachers to do their damn job. I'm sorry. It's not a lot to ask for if you're a teacher. Teach my kid how to read, how to write, and how to do math. That's all you need to know. That's all you need to do. It's simple. But no, you guys want to indoctrinate kids. And I won't be surprised if people start pulling their kids out of school, homeschooling them, and or putting them in private school. Because I'm willing to pay $10,000 a year to keep my kid away from your shitty ideals and ideology. For sure. You're not going to fuck with my kid. Sorry, not happening. All right, folks, that's it for this show. I do hope you did enjoy it. If you're new to the channel, please like and subscribe. Remember, visit heroicstudiosmedia.com for all of my content, 3D printing, my comic book, Ultima the Legend Untold, and of course, Culture Shock, this show right here. I will see you guys next time with another outrageous and absurd, just dumb piece of shit, garbage article, whatever, pissing people off this week because, tomorrow's Monday and Monday always brings the crazies out. All right. But until next time, guys, be safe, enjoy your week, and I will see you next time on Culture Shock. Have a good week, everyone. Please don't burn anything down.